In this video, we are going to discuss about how to get rid of writer's block, how to write a readable content, and some free resources. So first, we'll see how to get rid of a writer's block. So these are the simple steps. First one, overcome the fear, laziness, and lack of self-confidence. So because writing is a skill, so like any other skills, you can develop the writing also. So by regular practice, you can become a good writer. So read a lot to write a lot up. So you have to read a lot of books in order to write well. So next one, make it a regular practice, schedule a time, simply write regularly. So say for example, if a person wants to build his muscles, what he has to do, he has to go to gym regularly and practice daily. Okay, in the same fashion, if you want to improve your writing, you have to practice regularly. You have to schedule a time in a particular day, then you have to start writing. So it is not necessary that you have to write 2-3 pages daily, but you can write 10 to 15 sentences so that it becomes a practice for you to improve your writing. So next we'll see how to write a readable content. So first one, use short sentences including 2-3 lines. So because the readers will be of different literacy levels. So if you are writing some short sentences, then it is easy for the readers to read and understand. Always use active voice. So the active voice is more straightforward and easy for the readers to read. Use images after every 100 words. So you have to use images then and there so that it will make the post very interesting. So say for example, if you are writing a blog post for about 1000 or 2000 words and you're not added any images in that, then the reader will find it uninteresting and it will be monotonous for them. So if you have given images, related images to the post, it is easy for them to understand and correlate the content with the images, and it will be very interesting also. Then include call to action. So call to action is the thing which you wish your customer to take. Okay, it is the next step. You are directing the customer to take the next step. So say for example, if you are writing a blog post on the mobile, then your intention is to make the customer to buy those mobiles. So you have to include a call to action in your post. So next, use proper dimensions for social channels. If you're writing for social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, etc., then you have to follow the proper dimensions. So next we'll see some examples. So this is an example for a lengthy paragraph. So if you see here, in the first paragraph itself, the first line comprises of more than 20 words. Again, the second line is also more than 20 words. So the lines are very lengthy and there is no space in between these two lines. And if you see the second paragraph is more lengthier than the first one. So it is not interesting to see this, and so the readers will not be interested if you dump all the information like this. Okay, so if you see here, here there is a mixture of sentences. So first one is a long sentence, then medium size, then goes the short sentence, and there is a gap between all the sentences. So it is easy for the reader to scan through, and if you see the sentences also, they have written more straightforwardly. You talk to them and they listen to you. So it is very simple and easy to read and understand. So when compared to the previous case, this one is more interesting. So okay, so you can mix match the sentences length and you can write, and you have to leave proper spaces in between the lines. Okay, so that it becomes more readable. So there is no hard and fast rule to follow this rule, but it will make you make your blog post more interesting and readable. So next we'll see how can you make the lengthy sentences into a shorter sentences. So let us take an example below from a credit card letter. So here goes the line. I refer to the earlier notice served in respect of your account as arrears now amount to the sum shown above. You leave me with no alternative than to commence court action, and details of your account have been referred to the company's solicitor. So here The thing is, this is a letter sent to a credit card holder from a company. Okay, so the card holder has not paid the amount properly, and so this amount has been summed up as arrears. So they do not have any alternative. Alternative means they do not have any choice other than taking. So commence means starting some court action against him. Okay, so this is a single sentence, and this is very hard to read also. Okay, now we'll convert this into a smaller sentences of readable form. So you have to make a note of one thing here. We have to use always the words that are familiar to us. So that is, we have to use the words which we use in our day-to-day life, so that the readers will find it very easy for them. Okay, they will easily connect with the content. So here, if you see here, I refer to the earlier notice served in respect of here. This is more formal, and it is difficult for us to understand, right? So the meaning is they have sent some notice to that defaulter, okay, with respect to the account. Okay, for that we can write in this way: I previously sent you a letter informing you that your account is in arrears. So here we have used some words which we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, sent and letter. So these are the words we will be using in our regular conversation. Okay. So next one, now the amount to the sum shown above. So the arrears now amount to the sum shown above. You leave me no option. So here what they have written, you leave me with no alternative. So the meaning is they do not have any other choice. Okay, they don't have any option. Okay, other than commence court action. Commence means starting. Okay, so we can simply write it as you leave me no option than to start court action. And details of your account have been referred to the company solicitor. So here what is the meaning? They have sent it for further action. Okay, so we can write it in the same way. Your account details have been sent on to our company's solicitor. Okay, so in this way you can split the long sentences and write it in small fragments, so that the readers find it interesting and easy to understand also. So next we'll see some examples of call to action. So learn more, grab or seize 50%, subscribe for more details, click here to start free trial, start today, reserve a spot. So on reading your blog post, you're directing your customers to take the next action. Okay, so if they want to learn more, then they have to click here. If they want to grab 50% off, then they have no other option, they have to click here. So subscribe for more details. Okay, so these call to actions should be straightforward, so that the people will have no other choice other than clicking this one, start today. So if you want to start today, then you have to click here. Okay, so in this way you can write call to action in your post. So next we'll see some social media post dimensions. So these are recommended dimensions. For Facebook, 1200 by 620. For Instagram, 1080 by 1350. For Twitter, 1200 by 675. For LinkedIn blog post, 1200 by 627. Pinterest image size, 1000 by 1500. So there are some sites where you can download the images for free without getting any copyright issues. Okay, so Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay, Free Images, Gratisography. Okay, so these are some of the websites where you can go download the images, and you can very well use it in your blog post, so that you will not get any copyright images. So if you search, you can get many more, but these I have personally used and recommending it to you.